All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Thursday, May 12th, 2022. If you're not done so already, give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe to the channel, etc. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts and analysis. Getting this video out way later than normal here. Doctor says I'm a little under the weather, so had to postpone the videos today. But I'm going to be okay, so no need to worry about me. Anyways, I'm kind of just doing this video a little bit off the cuff. Didn't really even write notes. Just got home myself personally. So, but there's a lot to talk about, lots to discuss here. So, spiders gapping down today. Got a little rally up here. And, you know, I said to the members this morning, I was like, this doesn't really look like a bottom. And the reason for that is we'd be green by this candle right here, which is a 10-minute candle. So we'd be green by 10 a.m. easily. And we would be V-shaping. Now, this kind of looks like a V shape, but if you were watching it happen, there was no conviction. And, you know, we stalled out right here and rolled over and then, you know, rolled over again. Ended up being a little bit of a bear trap as shorts covered here and got a nice surge into the final hour or so of the day. Why was there a trap? Well, you know, how many days in a row are we going to see the same story? So, you know, move up, sell the rip, and then, you know, a complete barf into the close usually, right? Well, eventually, if everybody catches on to it, you know, sometimes the rug's got to get pulled. Look at the VIX, UVXY here coming in. I mean, this was at 1925 at 2:30 and closed at 1782. So a big collapse there on UVXY and the VIX itself. Let's look at the actual VIX. You can see you get a bit of better visual. Pretty good decline there from basically 3450 down to 3180. In really like an hour and a half. So big move down there on the VIX and help market rally up. Let's go through a couple things here. So normally we don't get to Bitcoin until the end, but I want to talk about Bitcoin first here because this is very important. This here, and I said this to before the market even opened, I posted this in our forum for members. I said, this might be capitulation here. So take a look at the volume and then you've got a legit bottoming tail there on Bitcoin, closing back above support. So that trend line going all the way back to 2021, basically tag, broke through it. Everybody panicked, got all the way down to 24,000 and then boom, 24,000 to basically 30,000 in almost no time. And futures are higher right now. So it is moving up here in the overnight. Obviously I'm doing this video late. As I said, it's about 10:30 at night, but futures up nicely. And I saw a lot of this happen all over the market today. Now we'll get into that in a second, but look at Ether here. Not as robust, but it didn't have as bad of a sell-off there. Now it did, you know, we do have this head and shoulders in play on Ether. So we got to be careful of that. But any weekly chart close above this neckline negates it. So that's kind of the thought process there. Obviously, you guys, I'm sure, know about they don't even have Luna on here anymore. I'm sure they do somewhere, but I'm sure you guys know the story. I don't need to explain that, but yeah, basically 0.02 of a cent now. And you can see the same thing. Look at this volume here. That's capitulation volume. That's Polkadot. Litecoin, XRP, they all look the same. Okay, so legit reversal here in crypto. Now I'm going to say the same thing about the spiders. Market needs to effing prove it. So, you know, nice candle there, you know, nice reversal. Another thing I was just talking about with members, look at the Russell here. The Russell was green almost all day long, closed up 1.17%. That's a good sign for the market. When small caps lead, that's a good sign. But the market needs to frickin' prove it and actually have a green day tomorrow. If we can have a solid green day tomorrow, that bodes really well for next week. If we have a solid, you know, gap and go day tomorrow, that bodes very well for next week. And we talked about OPEX. The put side is loaded. You guys want to see it? You guys want to see it here? I mean, here's May 20th spiders. 100,000, 120,000, 69,000, 121,000, 49,000, 116, you know, 80,000. Where's all the calls? There's no calls. So there's no incentive for them to take this market lower and pay all those pikers that are buying puts right now. So that's the setup right now, and it's there, but the bulls got to make it happen. So we'll see what we get now. Speaking of the Russell, 50% fib got hit. Nice bounce off of that. So we'll see if we can get a lift. We also hit that 200 week moving average as well. What else did the triple Qs do today? Let's let's see here. So we're into this support zone I talked about. And really this whole area is support, but let's take a look at the cues. 50% of the pandemic gains evaporated. So that's how much they've barfed this index in the last 6-7 months. So again, you see the thesis there for the rally that I've been talking about. And you see how oversold everything is, but every day we just, we can't get more than a 1-day rally. And every day the liquidity is just absolutely terrible. And it's really hard for, institutions to pick up shares when the liquidity is this bad, even when the volume's high. That's just the case. But again, we'll have to see about tomorrow follow through. Now, as I say this, E-mini is up nicely. It's up almost 0.75% here, basically back to the highs of the day today. So again, if we can get a gap and go, this market will probably rip into next week. And they will probably try to burn out all those put buyers. There's the Russell futures. Here's the Dow. So nice move. By the way, take a look at the diamond today. Nice tail candle. All right, so speaking of all these tail candles, and we talked about capitulation, something I mentioned a little bit earlier on Twitter, mentioned this to the members, was talking about pretty much all day. But you have these long short funds, right? Hedge funds and so on. They're getting margin called on Netflix. Now they're probably getting margin called on Apple, Tesla, Amazon. I mean, this is an epic drop here. By the way, I told you guys $2,000 stock, and we're almost there. This is due for a bounce, but $2,000 stock. I told you guys it's going to go there. But so these guys getting margin called here, and you think that the market's going to crash, it's going to melt down. The thing about being in leverage is that works both ways, because what's a layup short? GameStop. Oh, well, what happens when you get margin called on your Amazon position? You got to cover GameStop. Oh, GameStop goes up 33% in the first hour of the day and gets halted twice. What else? What else happens? Carvana goes up 33% and gets halted a bunch of times. Look at these levels on Carvana here. I mean, look at how cheap this is. I mean, you're going back to the pandemic lows. By the way, capitulation volume, what do you guys think? That looks like capitulation to me. How about Shopify? Up 11%. Well, it was up more than that today. But look at this level on Shopify. Again, I'm telling you guys, these beaten down growth stocks, some of them are trash, but some of them are good companies. And, maybe all of them were way overvalued up here. But it's like, okay, at some point, when is enough enough? Especially when you've got margin. And these guys that are short, they've been greedily pigging out, shorting these the whole way down and just adding to their short, even though, they started up here and they're averaging up into their short, which is a stupid idea. And they're basically just shorting into the ground. Well, guess what happens when you get margin called? You're going to get your head ripped off. AMC, same kind of deal. AMC was up big today. SE, this was up nicely. Roku, up big. Even Netflix was up 4.5 today. So a lot of these beaten down growth plays, Roblox, they reported earnings the other day, just up like 20% today. How about Rivian? Rivian up 18%, was up more than that. Even Robinhood was up 5%. So you get what I'm saying here. This margin stuff works both ways, and I think if these beaten down growth plays can catch a bid for once, and I think Apple, for instance, that's into a good level, really good level right here, this pivot. And you finish with a big doji. Look at the volume there. If these big tech plays can start to get a bid here, Tesla got basically down into double bottom, got a nice reaction off that. If they can have follow through, and the beaten down growth stocks can have follow through, then we should have finally a nice little rally. Like, all we're really looking for here is a nice counter trend rally. I feel like that's all anybody wants right now. I think even the bears are getting frustrated because they can't, it's just this kind of grind lower. You can't really add down here because it's a terrible risk reward. So you need that bounce. The market needs to bounce. It needs to catch its footing here. And what better time for that to happen than OPEX week? Let's see, a couple of things. Let's go over financials. So XLF, nice tail candle there. You see the same thing there on the XLF. XBD, nice tail candle, did finish green. So nice little move there. HYG did finish with a doji, was negative. And JNK, same exact chart. Again, we pointed this out yesterday though, but look at LQD, green the last 4 days. Green the last 4 days in a market that's getting absolutely like spit roasted the last week. So very interesting to see LQD up. Is that trying to tell us something? Maybe. It's trading a little bit more with TLT, which did get a bid today, but the last 10 minutes they did close it down as we just kissed that 20 moving average there in the final hour of trading, and did close slightly negative, but did get a nice bounce off the lows. Again, we'll continue to monitor that. Moving forward, TNX here, falling off a cliff though. So it looks like, barring a major rally tomorrow, it looks like we're going to have an engulfing reversal on the weekly. And I told you guys the other day, if we close below that 2907 area on the TNX, this thing is in corrective mode. We'll see 2.6, 2.4 very, very quickly. So keep that in mind. It could still rally up tomorrow. There's nothing to say it can't happen, but big time engulfing reversal so far on the weekly. And, maybe that's the kick in the butt that this, tech stocks finally need to get moving. So we'll see what we get out here. We talked about fins really quickly. I want to talk about home builders. I told you guys not to chase this yesterday. I hope nobody did. So beautiful bear pattern, nice breakdown, and then an engulfing reversal today on the daily time frame. Same thing with the ITB. So ITB, basically an engulfing reversal there. And so maybe a little fake breakdown there on the home builder. So we might get a chance to short these after all. I'm definitely looking to do that. But we'll have to see what we get. Like I said, with everything, show it, show me, prove it. Let's have follow through finally. And that would be very nice for us in general. And I think it's just a healthy sign for the market. The market's just too beaten down. It's just way too beaten down. And something's got to give at this point. Anyways, gold here really quickly. So this got beaten down a little bit again today. It's still into a good level of support. We'll see what it does tomorrow. Not a great look on the weekly though. So we'll have to see what it looks like on the weekly close, and that'll tell us a little bit more. Let's look at GDX. So yeah, GDX getting absolutely roasted here. It's probably due for a bounce. If the market bounces, this probably will too. But again, this probably wants to go down to that 28, 29 area and test that before doing anything else. Although nothing to say it can't bounce in the near term. I mean, basically this is at 41.50, like not even a month ago, and we're sub 29 today. So that's a monumental move for an ETF like this. And silver blasting through that support area, getting a little dead cat bounce. I wouldn't touch this at the moment. Just let it work itself out. Then platinum and palladium both kind of just having uneventful days, all things considered. And copper, same kind of deal again. Copper is weak here, and you probably want to go down to that 4 handle. Almost got there yesterday, but it still does need to go a little bit lower if you ask me. Anyways, quick flip back into the futures. So let's see, a gap above today's high would probably get it done for a gap and go, but we'll see what we get out here. Wouldn't surprise me if those jerks faded it again. Would it surprise anybody at this point? That's really what we've gotten. But again, going into the weekend, I think there's a very good chance that we can squeeze next week. If we somehow puke tomorrow, we'll probably have more downside at least on Monday and possibly Tuesday. But I still expect some type of relief going into next Friday, really regardless of the situation. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.